Hello, thank you for coming back to my kitchen. You're very welcome as always. Today I'm going to make a courgette casserole for my dinner, so I thought I'd film it and share it with you all. This in the original recipe book is called a Tian. I'll show you the name. Hope that's caught on camera. It says this is a provincial family dish which takes its name from the heavy earthenware dish in which it is cooked. So I assume from that a Tian is an earthenware dish. Now in the UK, as everyone knows, we call it casserole. Doesn't seem to be like a courgette casserole. I always call it a courgette bake. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that Tian right. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comments and then we'll all be educated. So anyway, this is it's from a little tiny vegetarian book that I've had a long time. It was published in 1985. Yes, 1985, so it's quite an old book. So we'll get started. There's a lot of chopping and a lot of grating to do in this dish, but it is well worth it. It's delicious for starters. It makes a big enough dish for four. In the winter I normally have potatoes alongside. In the summer I normally have salad, so it's very, very versatile. Us being two, we will have a portion for dinner tonight, then we'll take a portion each for work tomorrow, pop it in the microwave and just have some nice crusty bread with it for lunch. So it's a very versatile dish, so we'll get going. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of oil in the pan. And you know, I'm always quite generous with the olive oil. And just a dot in a big casserole dish. It needs to be a large casserole dish. And I'm just going to swirl that round. So that was just to grease it. And we'll put that aside and get on with some of the chopping. So I'm just going to put the heat up very low to heat the olive oil while we chop the onion. Just one onion, but it needs to be chopped finely. And while I'm chopping this, the oven needs to be on 180 degrees Celsius or about 170 degrees if you've got a fan oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 4. And we just pop all that in the pan. And that can be cooking while we chop the garlic. So I chop my garlics the same as I chop my onions. I don't like to use those garlic presses. I think you lose too much garlic in them. These need to be chopped quite finely. There, that's perfect. And that too goes in the pan. And just give it all a stir, and this just needs to be on a low heat at the moment. And what I normally do when I've been cutting up garlic or onions, I wash my hands in cold water. If you wash it in hot, the garlic cooks on your hands. If you wash them in cold, it comes right off and it doesn't smell afterwards. No smell. So now we need to grate a pound or 500 grams of courgettes, zucchini if you're one of my American friends. So I've chopped the end off, keep that on as the handle for grating. And on the big side, we need big pieces, so just grate them both down. You can see how the stalk becomes the handle at this point. And saves your fingers. So all the grated courgette just gets popped into the pan carefully with the onion and the garlic. And we'll give that a stir. And at this point, I'll turn the heat back up. And that just needs to cook down for about 5 minutes. So while that's cooking, we're going to gather together the rest of the ingredients. In this bowl, I have 8 ounces or 250 grams of chopped spinach. You can use fresh spinach. Today I've used frozen. I normally use frozen. I just defrosted it this morning and I've just chopped it up slightly. In this bowl, I have 4 tablespoons of cooked rice. So that was 4 tablespoons uncooked, and I cooked that up, and that's cool now. I did that earlier. We're going to want 3 eggs. 3 eggs, and they'll just need a bit of a whisk up. And then I'm going to grate 2 ounces or 50 grams of this Swiss cheese. I can't pronounce the name. Gruyere. Anyone knows how to pronounce it? Oh, hold up. Leave it in the comments. It's a Swiss cheese. It's quite, it's a strong cheese. It's quite a hard cheese too. It's delicious. Kind of nutty flavour. So that will need to be grated and on the fine side. So the courgettes have now had 5 minutes, and I'm popping in the spinach. Just give that a mix. I'm going to turn my heat off now because this doesn't need to cook in here. This will cook in the casserole dish. Then I'm going to pop in the rice. This was brown rice. I don't think I said that last time. It was brown rice that I cooked on this morning. And then the cheese. Now at this stage, I want it to cool down a little bit before putting the eggs in, so I've moved it off the heat side. Just give it a mix round. Put some salt and pepper in. And just give it a mix round, just to cool it down a little before putting the eggs in. So in go the eggs. Just mix those in. We don't want the eggs to cook right now. They'll cook in the bowl in the oven. Give it a good old mix up. And just pour it in the bowl. I'm calling it a bowl because I don't want to call it a casserole dish because it was called a Tian. I can't say Tian. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Just push it out to the sides. And here I have 2 to 3 tablespoons of wholemeal breadcrumbs. I just did those in the blender. And this is grated pecorino, the same, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And we just sprinkle the top with the 2 of them. And that will make a nice crusty top. There, and that goes in the oven for about 35 minutes. So that is 35 minutes up. Let's have a look. Oh, that's heavy. Looks lovely, all nice and brown and crispy on the top. And that will need to stay just to cool slightly for about 5 minutes before cutting it up to serve. Once it's cooled for 5 minutes, it's firmer, so easier to serve. Just run the knife around the edge to loosen and cut into 4. I'm serving this tonight with potatoes. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up as usual and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again next time.